Hi, everyone. It's nice to see you, and I'm so sorry that there was confusion about the time. That was totally my mistake. Here on Crowdcast, I said it was 4:30 here, my time, London time. So people were already here, but you are also awesome. You just started talking to each other, and you're still here. So thank you so much. First of all, let me know if you can hear me and see me. Awesome. Thanks, Hero. And by the way, Hero, I saw this earlier. Hero is like one of my biggest supporters, and he's been like coming to this show for 2 years, like literally almost every single time. Thank you so much, Hero. Anyway, so welcome to the Spirit Guide Show. This week, we will be talking about what label term you want to use to describe and maybe even sell your spiritual advisory work. So maybe you can do things like predict the future. Maybe you can talk to dead people. Maybe you can heal emotional trauma. Maybe you can talk to fairies. Maybe you can read people's energies, read people's auras, intuitively find physical problem areas, etc. The list is like indefinite. We all have abilities, and some of us want to do something with them. It could be just that we want to use them to help family members and friends, or maybe you actually want to sell your services and make money with it. But you want to know, what do I call myself? So first of all, let me know if you know what your specialty is. Let me know in the chat, do you talk to dead people? Do you read auras? Are you, whatever it is that you do, let me know in the chat. I'm curious about that. So yeah, again, but do you know what to call yourself? Are you an intuitive? Are you a psychic? Are you a medium? Are you a shaman? Are you a channel, an empath, something else? There are so many different labels, titles, terms out there. It's really confusing. By the end of this show, you will know how to know if you are called to be a professional spirit worker. What is the difference between an intuitive, a psychic, a medium, a channel, an empath, and a shaman? And which of those are you? In the second part of the show, as always, we'll do mini readings. And then in the third part, we'll do a Q&A. And you can ask me any kind of questions that you have. For the mini readings, I'll connect you with the spirit guides that are around you. And I'll give you any messages they have for you. That's my specialties. I'm a spirit guide medium, which means I can connect you with your spirit guides. So my name is Yemoonyah. In case you don't know me, welcome. I'm a spirit guide medium, like I just said. I'm also a Hay House author. I'm currently writing my book, and I'm super excited. And I'm also the founder of Spirit Guide Society, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later. You can find me at thespiritguidemedium.com. And I'll put that in the chat in case you don't know my website yet. I see someone's having audio issues. Is that just you, Camille, or do other people also have issues? Let me know in the chat. Can you hear me at all? Okay. Okay, perfect. So for the people that have problems, just reload the page. That usually solves the problem. Try that first. All right, let's see. So yeah, you can find me at thespiritguidemedium.com. And now let me check what you guys are all said about your abilities. Kelly says she thinks she's an intuitive healer. Emily thinks she's psychic. Tanel thinks a tarot reader and empath. Sydney says that people seem to talk to me. Wayne says I'm an empath, a healer, and a channel. Carmen says I recently was working with a client over the phone, and he walked into his house full of grandbabies, and I immediately got the scent of a baby. Amazing. Amy says I really want to communicate with those who passed. Kimberly says empath. Tammy says I have dreams of things that are to come, and I've been told I'm an empath. Ooh, so you can see the future. Camille says, oh, audio issues, right. I hope you reload the page if you have audio issues, please. And Magdalene says, I'm a traditional healer and I read the future, but I don't know what to call myself. Maria says, she's not getting video. Guys, if you have tech issues, please reload the page. That is the best way to do it. Let me type that in chat, because if you have audio issues, you can obviously not hear me. Okay. If anyone else is having problems, like while I go on, please remind them in the chat to refresh the page. Thank you so much for helping out. So, did we have anyone else with other? E says, I also have dreams that come true and deja vu. And then we have Elisa, dreams, what going to happen the day. So I'm guessing like the next day. Ronki or Ronke, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, sorry. Says their channel through writing, want to develop all my gifts and use them to serve at the highest divine level. And Camille says, I download stories, characters. And Amy says, I grew up with 2 spirits in my house. I sometimes have dreams and it happens the next day. And Kelly says she's a psychic empath. Awesome. So very diverse crowd. Awesome. So, sorry. Oh yeah. So if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, click on the link in the description, either above or below, and come on over here, because only here can I give you a reading and answer your questions. Again, if you have any tech issues, refresh the page. That usually helps. Everything helps. Now let's dive right in. All right. So, excuse me. How to know if you are called by your spirit guides to be a professional spirit worker? That's the first question, right? Before we start talking about like what term to use, what label to use, what name, what we're going to call ourselves, we need to know if we are a spirit worker, if we are someone that works with spiritual abilities to help others. So if you have regular psychic experiences, like the ones that you all just listed, that's a sign that you are called to closely work with your guides as a light worker. Now, what's a light worker? A light worker is someone, again, who works with their guides to help to improve their own lives or other people's lives. But they don't do it necessarily as a profession. They don't necessarily make their money with it. They just use their abilities for themselves, family, friends, other kinds of people, but not professionally. If you also have clearly defined intuitive abilities, like the ones we mentioned above, like seeing dead people, being able to talk to spirit guides, being a healer that can see into people's bodies and see exactly where the problem is, what the problem is, or if you can tell people, if you're like a Akashic record reader, you can look into their past and see their soul path. All these things, if you know exactly what you do, then you're ready to start making money with it, if that is what you choose to do. So I call these people, just for here, spirit workers. And I use it as a catch-all for all mediums, shamans, healers, channels, spiritual healers, oracles, whatever it is that you do, just to have like an overarching term that we can use. Excuse me. We will later talk about what exact label you fall under. But for now, the important thing is that you follow the calling. Again, if you have regular, intuitive, psychic, mediumistic, experiences, and if you already know this is exactly what I can do, this is my ability, my skill, my gift, and I can apply it to help other people, then you're ready. So Yeah, follow that calling. So let me know in the chat, what do you think you are? Do you think you're a light worker in the sense you want to use your abilities? You might not be entirely clear what they are, but you want to use them outside of like using them professionally? Or do you think you're more like a spirit worker, someone who is ready to make money with their abilities? Let me know in the chat. I'm curious about how many of you define as a light worker, how many define as a spirit worker. Now, how do you know that you are specifically called to be a spirit worker? If spirituality, psychic development, etc. are your hobby, you talk about nothing else, you admire professional mediums, psychics, shamans, whatever, you secretly dream of doing the same thing, you read tons of books on the subject, you have psychic experiences to do with helping others, so you get information about others that could help other people. That's a really good sign that you are called to be a spirit worker. Again, follow that call. You're not getting it just for fun. Don't doubt yourself if these things apply to you. Now let me check in the chat what you guys are saying. Okay, I have to scroll back a little bit. Okay, Antonella says light worker, to use it professionally. So then you want to be a spirit worker. Awesome. Amy Sue says maybe a light worker, not quite sure yet. Camille says light worker. Tanel says light worker. Emily says probably both. Yes, you can be both. Kimberly says might be a light worker, helping others with empathic and other abilities. Wayne also says light worker. Moses says, I think I'm a light worker, but have been told a few times I'm also a trance medium. But you can be a trance medium and a light worker at the same time. So you can do your trance medium work helping others, but you don't necessarily make money with it. So that means you're a light worker, in my definition. Carmen says, the experience with the insurance customer over the phone was the first time that's happened, but definitely the empath is every day. I believe I'd be a light worker. Yes, so you're basically an aspiring light worker. You have like abilities and you know that. You haven't used it very much yet, but you are willing to use it. So that makes you a light worker. You are ready to use your abilities to make this world a better place. You're a light worker. Emily says, I just mainly call myself a witch. Yes, that's another label that we can use. Witch sorceress, that's Evelyn. Ali says, I have many gifts. As soon as I accept one fully, another comes up. Yes, yes, that's totally true. Like as soon as you embrace one and fully live it, then others can bubble up as well. That's awesome. That's very true. Bronco says, I desire to be both. Yes, absolutely. Cheryl says, crazy things happen to my family. We have caught kidnappers twice. Wow. Saved 4 people in a house fire. Wow, that's amazing. Magdalene says to use it professionally while I have started. Awesome, woohoo, congratulations. Latonya says spirit worker, awesome. And Evelyn says, now that I hear both definitions, I guess both light worker and spirit worker. Awesome. So where was I? I'm looking at my notes. Right, so the second question, what is the difference between an intuitive, a psychic, a medium, a shaman, a channel, and an empath? So these are the ones that I picked out. There are others, but I can't do all of them. So before we figure out what to call ourselves, let's talk about the differences between these different modalities. So what's an intuitive? An intuitive is a person who can tell you about your soul journey and path. And they do that like by themselves. They don't connect with the spirit world. They don't talk to the dead. They don't talk to spirit guides. It's just like they have an intuitive knowing about your soul journey and your soul path. They answer questions about life purpose and karmic cycles and similar questions. They do this by intuitively guiding the session according to what each individual client needs. It can feel like talking to a therapist, close friend, or your local pastor, priest, rabbi, etc. Then what's a psychic? What's different about a psychic? A psychic is someone who uses their non-ordinary senses, the clairs. And we've talked about the clairs a few times in past episodes. So if you want to learn more about that, go back and watch these. So a psychic is someone who uses their non-ordinary senses to receive information about people, events, and situations. An example would be to read someone's personality, advise them about their love life or their work. They have fine-tuned the art of perceiving incoming information that is usually overlooked. So that's what a psychic is. They read like your energy or the energy of a place, and they do that while using their clairs. So clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, claircognizance, the non-physical senses. Now, what's a medium? The term medium comes from the spiritualist tradition, which is a Christian religion, mostly practiced in the US and in the UK. A medium in this tradition is someone who can speak to the dead. So people who were incarnated, died, and are now living in the spirit world. And mediums will act as a sort of translator, and they will use their own mind to translate the images, the impressions that they get, and will tell you the information that they receive. Now, what's a shaman? A shaman, the term shaman comes from the Manchu Tongass language and means one who knows. It was adopted by anthropologists around the world to describe a person who can connect with spirits residing in the spirit world in order to help others. So this includes also dead people, but it also includes other kinds of beings, other kinds of spirits. Either by calling these spirits to themselves or by traveling to the spirit world. So they connect with the spirit world either by calling the spirits to themselves or by traveling to the spirit world. These are two different modalities. And they usually have to reach an altered state of consciousness to do so. And usually shamans are healers, so they use their abilities to heal on an emotional level, physical level, mental level, whatever is necessary. And now, what's a channel? A channel is a fairly new term and is applied to people who lend their voice to non-physical entities. So we already talked about mediums and shamans, both connect to the spirit world. Channels do too, but the difference is that channels let the spirits talk and sometimes act through them. So they don't say, oh, your mother is here and she wants you to know whatever it is. No, they let the mother speak through them. So the message would be, here is your mother, I want to tell you. But there's also another difference actually, and so this was a bad example because channels don't usually channel the dead, they channel other kinds of entities. For example, Archangel Michael or the Pleiadians, something like this. They, like I said, they let these beings directly speak through them. They, their own rational mind, ego, and belief systems are suppressed during that process. So none of their own filters is involved in giving the message. And the last one is, what's an empath? An empath is someone who can feel someone else's emotions and sometimes even physical pain. If they are able to not lose themselves in that sensation. So there's lots of people that have empathic abilities, but they lose themselves in other people's feelings, emotions, pain, whatever it is. And then, yeah, they lose themselves. If you want to use your empathic abilities to help others, you can't lose yourself. You have to keep part of your energy in your own energy field, and part of your energy goes and visits the other person's energy field and feels what's going on there. It enables them to make people feel seen and heard because they can sympathize. They are able to connect with the client for deep understanding and healing. And they offer solutions you might not be able to see when you are drowning in your own emotions, pain, and trauma. And that has happened, we've all been there, like we go through a hard time, maybe we're grieving, we're completely immersed in our grief and we can't see anything else. An empath can help with that because they can feel the grief, but they also have like an outside view, so they can help us, guide us out of that grief, for example. So these were the definitions so far. I hope that made things clear. Let me see in the chat if there are any questions so far. Right, let's see. Kimberly says, I awakened after 5 people very close to me passed. I love reading and learning and helping people. Changing my lifestyle and full of high energy. Hard to control. Still learning. People always ask my advice. I like to help them remember their strengths. Yes, awesome. Ginger says, so glad I finally got to tune into your live stream, Yamile. I will see you again soon. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Etanel says, I also practice automatic writing and contacting spirit and angels. Great. Let's see. Shirley says, how can we know what we really are? Sometimes I hear, feel, sense things, but I don't know if it's my imagination. That's a whole other question. We've done a show about that as well. Like, is this just my imagination? Go back and see and watch that one. That will help you. And there's a discussion about split personalities. That's also a very different topic. But what's interesting is that back in the day, anthropologists thought that shamans, what they call shamans, are schizophrenic, split personalities, which is obviously not true. And that's why you can see like the European-centered bias that came in with these anthropologists. So Camille says, I think I'm mixed shaman and medium skills to download characters for my stories, help the spirits find closure and acceptance through my stories. Awesome. Emily says, I mostly use tarot cards as my main source of contact with the spirit world. Yes, so that would probably fall very much in between like psychic and intuitive. Amos says, I can look at people and tell them their secrets that they want to keep hidden and they don't like it. Yes, you have to be, that's an amazing skill, but you have to be very careful with that. Most people do not want their secrets out in the open. So that it's a very powerful skill and you can help people with that, but you have to definitely develop your empathy at the same time so you don't hurt people. Ronki says, thank you very much for the definitions. Now very clear about the areas I believe I have abilities in and would like to work with. Awesome. So the next question that I want to answer for you, or help you answer yourself, is, so which of the above are you? Are you an empath, a channel, a shaman, a medium, a psychic, an intuitive, or something else? So first, the first way to determine what term you want to use for yourself is to reflect on your spiritual path. Were you brought up in a culture that has a specific label for their spiritual advisors? Or were you trained as a spiritual advisor in a spiritual tradition, in a specific spiritual tradition? For example, if you are trained in mediumship in the spiritualist tradition, then it's fine to call yourself a medium because you were trained in it. If you grew up in South Africa and your mother was a traditional Sangoma and you learned from her how to be a traditional Sangoma, then use that term. That's totally fine. Then that's what you are. If not, like, so you don't come from a culture that has a specific term, you don't come from a spiritual tradition, then you have other possibilities. So then you can look at your specific skills. And we talked about this a little bit. If you can talk to the dead, it's fine to call yourself a medium, even if you haven't trained in the spiritualist tradition. Although I would recommend that you still do, even if you can do it, like naturally, still get the training necessary, because there's more to it than just talking to the spirits. There's also the client side and all kinds of things. So that's true for anyone. Get an education. It's very important. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And then, for example, if you can let Archangel Michael speak through you, you're a channel. So, like, look at the abilities that you have and then use the appropriate term. The only one where I would be careful is calling yourself a shaman, because, again, like, the term shaman comes from a very specific culture. And European anthropologists took that term shaman and applied it to all kinds of people around the world. But that is, like, if you think about it, it is cultural appropriation. So be careful with that. For example, in my book, I don't talk about shamanism. I call it neo-shamanism. So everyone's clear about, like, this is something that is being taught by people who might or might not have learned from traditional shamans. That doesn't mean there's no value to it, but I want to be careful with, like, terminology that doesn't belong to me and that maybe offends people. So think about that when you want to call yourself a shaman. So where are we? If you are unclear about your spiritual abilities, then you want to try different modalities. So basically take classes and workshops in different fields and find out. Take a Akashic Records class, go to a webinar about mediumship. And don't just, like, go, but actually practice it with, like, with your friends, with your family, other people that take the class or the workshop, and then just, like, experiment and see what feels natural. And once you find that, go deeper into that one field. And then if you, like, by now still don't know, like, what to call yourself, then think about using a general term that's not specific. So I used the term spirit worker a few times. I like that one. It's not connected to any culture. It's not connected to a spiritual tradition. It's not connected to a very specific ability or skill. So spirit worker is a good one. Another one is spiritual advisor. You can use that, or you can use spiritual intuitive. So these are three that you can use if you are unsure. And you can make up your own too. Just be, like, careful with, like, where it comes from, where the origins are, just so you don't offend other people and don't culturally appropriate other people's spiritual property. So spirit worker, spiritual advisor, spiritual counselor are all great terms to just get started. And then the more you learn about your own abilities, you might just switch to something else. And then like what I call myself, spirit guide medium, is a little bit like I am trained in the spiritualist tradition, traditional mediumship, talking to dead people. But because my main thing is, like, talking to spirit guides, which includes ancestors, I call myself a spirit guide medium. I have specifically asked if it's okay to call myself that. I asked my teachers, who are traditional mediums in the spiritualist tradition, and they said it's okay, so I use that term. So what are you going to call yourself for now? Did you find any of the terms, labels appropriate for yourself for now to use? Let me know in the chat. And while you answer that, if you want to learn more about spirit guides and about, like, spiritual work, and if you want to use your spirit guides' wisdom to create real change in your own and other people's lives, I'm in the process of building a community for spiritual seekers, light workers, and spirit workers, so all of you, to receive cosmic mentorship from your guides. Secondly, develop your spiritual gifts, discover your purpose and live with purpose every day, and improve your own and other people's lives. So these are the 4 things that we will do in that community. And we'll go on a modern day quest to make this world a more egalitarian, inclusive, and collaborative place. I think we live in times that we really need to step up, use our abilities, and make this world a better place. So that's really what's behind this. And we want to do that with the help of our spirit guides. First, when you join, you'll learn how to connect with your guides if you don't know how to do that yet. And then we'll do monthly missions, like building your altar, ritual and ceremony, developing your spiritual practice, connecting through dreams, money and spirituality, and other things. During these monthly missions, you will learn a new aspect of spirit guide communication, create real change in the world and in other people's lives and in your own life by completing the simple action steps that are suggested to you by your spirit guides. So every month we're gonna have a ceremony, a DIY ceremony. During the ceremony, you will connect with your guides. I will teach you how to do that. And you will ask them a question, something that either improves your own life or other people's lives, something that makes this life a better place. And then you go out and actually take action on what you received from your guides. If this is something, if that sounds interesting to you, then all you have to do is click the green button below. It says follow your guide's call. It will bring you to a page on my website. There will be a little bit of a description and you can sign up for a waiting list. So there's no commitment whatsoever. You can just sign up for the waiting list and then I'll know that you're interested and I'll send you the information once Spirit Guide Society opens up again. And then you can join if you want to. So click that green button below if you're interested to join a community that wants to make this world a better place with the help of our spirit guides. All right, let me see if you guys had anything to say in the chat. Ooh, you guys are chatty today. I'm loving it. Okay, Ronki says, thank you very much for the definitions. Now very clear about the areas I believe I have abilities in and would like to work with. Awesome. Maria says, if appropriate here, can you possibly name a few books or authors to read? Books or authors on what topic exactly? Let me know. But that's actually a good idea. I might do a page on my website with the books that I read or read. I read a lot. And so you can go there and check it out. Evelyn says she's an empathic psychic. Awesome. I love it. That's a really good term. And you mix it up together, so that's very individual. I love it. Cheryl says, I live on a 6 mile deep salt crystal, and I think I'm supposed to activate it, but I'm not sure how. Oh, and you are, what are they called again? Something Earth Grid Worker. Google that, Earth Grid, I think it's Earth Grid Worker. They work with the Earth and the Earth Grid and like how to activate like certain portals for the new grid to emerge. So look that up. E says, I'm an empath, I can channel. I also have dreams of my past lives. Okay, yes, empath and channel, awesome. And Tonella says she's a channel. Moses says, I think I'm an empath psychic also, as I know people's thoughts and I sense dead people and can describe people I've never met. Let me read that again. You know people's thoughts, that's psychic, and you can sense dead people, that's a medium. So then you would be a psychic medium or just a medium because all mediums use psychic tools to do their mediumship. Ralph says, I feel like I'm an empathic teacher healer. Kimberly says the same. Rebecca says, do all people have a spiritual ability? Yes, I think so. Especially if you're here and you're interested in this topic, and if you read books about it and are a little bit obsessed with these kinds of topics, you definitely do. Even if you're not aware, you do. It's just a matter of like unearthing it. Just follow the breadcrumbs. Follow like the people that you think you can learn from, read the books, go to the workshops, whatever you want to do. Listen to your own intuition, and it will come out. Cheryl says, my husband died and came back several times in 2011. He now communicates with Ra, among others. He can read, I'm not sure. So he's channel, I guess. Maria says, thank you. Lots of co-opting of shamanism and Native American traditions in the US. Yes, so Maria works with, God, I forget who you work with, but with a traditional indigenous culture. And so, yeah, this is a sensitive topic that we should think about before we run out there and just use their labels, terms, and spiritual knowledge. Evelyn says, is sorceress and psychic redundant? You mean to use both? No, absolutely not. You could call yourself a psychic sorceress, for example. Why not? Magdalene, I'm from South Africa and trained as a Sangoma and a prophet. There you go. See, like someone who was trained in a spiritual tradition. It's funny that I use this example. And of course, then she can go and call herself a Sangoma. If you've never been to South Africa and just read a few books, you probably shouldn't use that term. Emily says she's an intuitive psychic. Awesome. Carmen says, yes, empath support. Awesome. Amy says, I was in a coma and almost passed when I was 4. I don't remember, but my mom told me on my way home from the hospital, I was looking up at the sky and said, Grandpa was holding his hand out to me. He passed before I was born. Very interesting. So that was a mediumistic experience. And so you were in between worlds and your people were already there to welcome you. But you probably had something else here still to do, so you came back. Shara, oops, it jumped. I'm not sure where I am. Camille says, if I help give voice to past spirits with my stories, help them to be heard, seen, is this mediumship? Yes, it is. Because like the stories come from you talking to these people that have passed. So you are a medium. You just don't do it in the way that most people do it. Like in readings, you write it down. But that's the same thing. Maria says, okay, you wanted to hear about books on learning mediumship or connecting to spirits. A good teacher who wrote, one of my teachers who wrote really clear and down-to-earth books about it is Gordon Smith. So he has a book, I'll write it in the chat. So this is his name, Gordon Smith. He's from the UK, and his book is, I think, called An Introduction to Mediumship. Oh, wait, no, they changed the title. So it's called Mediumship Made Easy. And it's published by Hay House. That's a really good book for beginners. And even if you like already intuitively do it, this is a really good book that helps you understand what is going on. So you can repeat it and do it on purpose. All right, let me look at it. Ooh, we're really late already. Let's see. Latonya says, I'm clairvoyant and clairsentient. I see things in dreams as well as feel when spirits are around. I'm now beginning to see those spirits, bright lights and light and dark silhouettes. I don't know what I should call myself. Then you're a medium. That sounds very much like a medium because you feel spirits. Your main thing is like seeing, feeling, hearing spirits. So that is a medium. The clairvoyant and clairsentient is just the way that the tools you use to communicate or perceive them. So some people call themselves a clairvoyant medium, for example. So then people know, okay, this person is a medium, and they do their mediumship work by receiving images. All right, if you guys have more questions, we're just doing the Q&A section here. I didn't officially announce it, but that's where we are. So if you have more questions, let me know. Brooke says, I want to know my spirit guide, but I have no idea where to begin. That's also a huge question. I do have a whole course on that. You can go to my website and find the course there in the menu, and that teaches you exactly how to do it, step by step. It teaches you like how to start, how to use your clairs, how to, and Maria has done the course, so maybe she can say something about that. Jessie says, do you have suggestions on where to take classes from that are reputable? You can take my classes, obviously, but also no, like lots of people. Oh, Gordon Smith also has a class about mediumship that you can find on the Hay House website. They like click on their classes, courses. I'm not sure what they call it. There's one. It's not a big investment, and it gives you the basics of mediumship. Then if you want to connect to angels, for example, Hay House, again, on their website, you can find an awesome course by Kyle Gray, also from the UK, how to connect with your angels. And you can use both of these to learn the basics of how to connect with the spirit world, and then use it to, let's say you take the one by Kyle Gray, how about how to connect with angels? You can use the same tools to connect to, let's say, fairies, or to even other kinds of beings. So that's how I did it, because my experience was like I would see like these beings like aliens and fairies and other kinds of beings, but I took mediumship classes because I realized that the tools they teach me there I can use to also communicate with the other beings. And then I learned how to talk to dead people too, because that's what the classes were for. But I wasn't able to do that before. I was only able to like perceive these other beings. So yeah, Hay House has a lot of awesome classes, definitely. And then there is specifically also for mediumship, I forget her name, Alison Gannon, that's her name. If you Google her, she does like really specific, like where you can practice, like you go and practice. And then Maria says, I recommend the course. Oh, you're talking about my course. Thanks, Maria. My skills were strengthened, and I'll take it again. All my clairs are still strengthening. It's also helped me ground in my life better. Thank you, Maria. Evelyn says, change my title to Psychic Enchantress. Also nice. Although from a, like, and funny enough, because I also have like this business background, I've been running online business for over 10 years. It's always helpful when people use titles, terms, labels that tell you exactly what you get as a client. So Enchantress is very like, what does that mean? It's a nice title, but then have like your slogan, your byline, explain exactly what the results will be that your clients get. So for example, Psychic Enchantress, I help people connect to their purpose, or whatever it is, but be specific. And now I'm doling out business advice, which was not what I was here to do, but you're welcome. Oh, that's what you did? See, awesome, great. So any other questions? Otherwise, we'll go on to do the mini readings because we're already really late. Let me check the questions section, not the chat. Yes, Elisabetta asked, can you have more than one spirit guide? Absolutely. I think we all have a team of guides. And Tammy asked, is it possible to take on others' feelings? Yes, that means you're an empath. Lots of people asking what their specific gifts are. I can't tell you that right here and right now. The best way to do it, like I said earlier, go take several classes or read several books about different topics. Maybe one about Akashic Records, one about mediumship, one about tarot cards. Pick the ones that like interest you, and then see, and then actually do the practice. Actually use the skills that you learn, and see what you like best, and just do that. Simona says, I have done a few past life regressions and I saw that I was a powerful shaman in many past lives. In this life, I was born with no spiritual abilities. I know that it is my mission to help people in this life and already started to train with native shamans. However, I found it difficult to connect with spirit guides to get information. How can I connect with them easily? Again, like that's a huge topic. Feel free to go to my website and you will find a course there that you can take. And I'll put my website again in the chat. Or someone asked about aura flashes. I'm not sure what you mean with that. Why do people have OBEs? I think there are a lot of like different reasons for that. When you look at it from a spiritual perspective, sometimes it happens so that you are open up to the reality of the spirit world and therefore learn how to connect with the spirit world. Can someone be tied spiritually to a place like Mesopotamia? Yes, of course. You could have a past life there, or maybe like your ancient ancestors are from there. There's all kinds of reasons. So dig into that. Follow the breadcrumbs. My daughter, and Shirley says, my daughter came up with a very feasible theory the other day. She said that as a lot of people talk of the light at the end of a dark tunnel when they're about to pass, she said it could be the soul being reborn, the dark tunnel being the birth canal, and the bright light being the world. What's your take on this? Yes, if you're talking about the spirit world, so being born into the spirit world, yes, I've heard that before and it makes sense to me. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're gonna do mini readings. And so here's how it works. You go to the Ask Us section question, which is down here. If you're like right under the green button, if you're on a desktop or laptop, if you're on your phone, I think you need to click on view chat, and then you will see a little question mark. Click on that and then type in first time. Just that, nothing else. No questions, nothing else, just first time. So I know, and this is only for people who've never had a reading from me before. So anyone who's had one before, please let the newbies go first. And just type first time. And I will pick people randomly and trust that Spirit will pick the right ones. So I'm gonna invite you on screen. So you'll get a little notification that I invited you on screen. You'll have to say yes, that you're willing and able to get on here on screen with me, and then I can do a reading for you, not a writing. All right, so I'm inviting Rebecca, and I'm inviting Ronke, just because I want to know like how to pronounce your name. Okay, here you go. And Amy Sue. And I'll just keep going until you have, don't type it in the chat, find the question and answers section. It's called Ask a Question or Questions and Answers. It's like right under the button if you're on a laptop or desktop, the green button that says follow your guide's call, under there somewhere on the bottom of your screen. If you're on your phone, go to view chat, and then you will see a little question mark pop up. All right, I'm going to invite Ali S, and David. So far, we don't have anyone. And I just keep going. And Milagros, I hope I'm saying your name right. Okay, what's going on? You guys should get like this little notification. There we have someone. Finally.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, let's see. Now we get people coming in, and I'm going to mute everyone else. David, now I see
Yeah,
you. Where are you from, David?
I'm from Florida.
All right, awesome. So everyone else who comes in on screen now, while I do the reading for David, please mute yourself if you can. All right, let's see. Let me close my eyes. All right, David. There's a monk here for you. It's a warrior monk.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a monk. He's also a warrior. So he's not an ancestor. So you're not related to him. It's more, but he's an ancestor in a sense, in a spiritual sense. So he, it's almost like there's a unofficial spiritual tradition that you're a part of, and he's one of like he's your teacher. So let's see. And he doesn't clearly show himself, so I can't tell you like what he specifically looks like. I know he says like, that's not important, that's not important. It's enough that he knows that I'm a warrior monk. The message is more important, and the message is that for you, he wants you to believe more in yourself. He wants you to like really understand that you are a spiritual warrior, that you came here to take responsibility for like your purpose, that you are here to help others, and that it's time to believe in yourself and take the abilities that you have, spiritual or not, and use them to live your purpose. And also to believe in your own spiritual abilities, because you have them, and he wants you to bring them out more, and really it's mostly about believing in yourself and not thinking that it's just wishful thinking. And he says you're a very loyal person, very dedicated person, and that you have a lot to offer. It's really just about believing in yourself. Would that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I do like warriors a lot too.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, there you go. You are one of them.
Oh,
Take it
that's cool.
seriously. Yeah, take it seriously and live the life of a warrior. All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for the reading.
You're welcome. All right. So who do we have here? Milagros. Can you turn on your camera, please? That does make it much easier for me, and everyone else can see you. But wait, I can't even hear you. Can you hear me? Milagros, are you there? I can't hear you and I can't see you. All right, we'll mute you again and we'll invite some more people. All right, Magdalene, I'm going to invite you on screen. I'm going to invite Moses. Oh, wait, sorry, you didn't ask for a reading. Here, Kelly Kettle. And I'm going to invite Camille. And Tanel. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. So I just keep going until someone shows up. And Kimberly. Here we go. Now we have a few people. All right, let's see. Camille. Right.
Hi.
Where are you from?
California.
California. Awesome. All right, let's see who's here for you. mean, there's an angel here for you, and this angel wants to talk about your work. And angels have this like, and this works for me. I don't know if this works for other people, but when they want to talk about my client's work, they always show up in a business suit, a white, really nice business suit. So she's like a female wearing that white business suit, high heels, also white, of course, and like white big wings. And again, she wants to talk about your work and about you taking either on a new responsibility in the role that you have, or switching jobs, or starting your own business. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. This is about definitely go for it, but there is some research that needs to be done. There is some like information that you need that you don't have yet. Would you understand that?
Yeah, I've been feeling like there's a puzzle piece I'm missing.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that makes sense. So let me see. This is about making sure that the foundations are in place before you can take that step. So if you look at like write down what needs to be in place, like really make a list. What needs to be in place to take that next step, and see if something is missing. If something is missing, go find that information. If you can't find something that is missing, ask other people for their opinion, like show them the list, talk to them about it, because there is something that is not in place yet, and you need that before you can like, take that next step, make the switch, start the business, whatever it is.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right, so let's see. And we have Milagros again. Can I hear you now? Can you say something, please? I thought I heard you earlier. I can only invite you once. I can't do it again because it's too complicated. I know it's possible, but I have to like go and search, and I can't do that now. There you are. I can hear you.
Oh, that's me, I think. I'm
Oh.
Kelly.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's totally fine. I can see you. That's all. Why
You
can't
can't. I don't know when my camera's not working. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Well, I usually don't do without camera because it makes it easier and it's more fun for other people like to see you.
Yes.
But I'll make it as an exception for now. So
Thank you.
All right, let's see. All right, Kelly, there's an animal spirit here for you. It's a fox. There's a situation in your life where you need to be very smart. You need to be smart about it. You need to use your mental capacities, your intelligence to solve that problem. Like there's some situation in your life that's a problem for you, and you need to be smart about it.
Okay.
Do not just follow like your gut feelings in this. That's fine. Like notice them, write them down, obviously, but there's another component to this, and that is like use your smarts.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to people that are involved in this. Do not necessarily always trust just their words, not because they are lying on purpose or anything like this. They might just like be confused themselves or not really have all the information themselves, but be smart about it. That's
Okay.
the message. Does that make sense to you?
I think it does. So I am trying to help other people, but I think a lot of them don't understand how I'm helping them, and maybe pulling back from them would be a better thing to do. I'm not exactly sure. I'm hoping, because I don't really, I don't live in an environment that understands my openness to the spirituality, and especially my father. So, me wanting to help other people and wanting to make a living out of making sure that other people's lives are led in a positive direction, it's a very a foreign subject to him, and he's not very open to it. So
right. Yeah, I mean that's a problem lots of us have. We're often born into families that are not spiritual like us. What I can tell you is like go out and find these people, even if you live somewhere where there's no one else. Listen, I live on an island. I don't even speak the language very well. So I don't have anyone here that I can talk to about these things. That's one of the reasons why I'm starting this community. That's one of the reasons why I do these like talks with you guys, these shows. And like there's tons of people online. There's tons of Facebook groups where you can find people that you can connect with. And that helps you like connect with other people, talk about these topics, and then you might not have the need so much to convince other people that might not be interested, like your father. And then it makes things easier with the family. So that's an option that you can look into maybe.
Okay. I'll have to find my trickster. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Well, have a blessed day.
Thank you. All right, so let's see. All right, I'm gonna do a few more, maybe 2 or 3 more, because the first part of the show took so long. So I'm gonna invite a few more people. I'm going to invite, oh, didn't I invite you already, Kimberly? Let's see. And, oh, I can invite you. Let's see. Oh, we have someone. I'm going to try Milagros again if it doesn't. So let's see if it works. But here we have Magdalene. Hi, Magdalene.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm great. Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
Ah, the Sangoma. Awesome. That's amazing.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let's see what I can get for you. There's definitely a nature spirit here for you, and it's definitely female. Looks a little bit what, like in Europe, you would call a troll, but a nice one. Like trolls sometimes have a bad rep, but this is a nice one. Female, like I said. Definitely here to help you with so this is about healing. This is about like healing with plants and herbs, and this being helps you with that, like finding the right plants and herbs. This is being is here to help you with connecting with these plants and herbs in a spiritual way. So just not just see them as like an object that you can use to help to heal and help, but like really see the spirit in them. And communicate with them so they can help you without you actually having to like cut them down or eat them or ingest them in some other way. So in this being, it's about like the way it shows it. It's about like, can you see this? Like this size. It's naked. It's not wearing any clothes. It has like funny hair that's standing up, and it reminds me a little bit of like there was I think in the 60s there was a craze about like these dolls. They were called troll dolls, and if you Google that, you will see them, and it looks a little bit like that. So it's a funny little being. And it's very much connected, like I said, to plants and herbs. And it's actually connected to a very specific plant. It's the way I see it is kind of like a bush. And there's something, either red flowers or red, what do you call them? Like red little fruits. Does that tell you anything? Do you know a plant like that? Do you work with a plant? It's like, it looks like a bush, but it has, and I can't see clearly, like red little things. It's either the fruit or the flowers. So, and that that being that's with you is connected to this plant specifically.
Okay, I'll look into it. I don't remember now, but maybe
Okay.
there is some.
Yeah. So if you see like this plant, then know that there's something with this plant that this being wants to teach you. So maybe if you see a plant like that, sit down and like connect with the plant, meditate, and see if you can get some information. There's something about this that can help you heal others, help others.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for coming.
Okay.
All right, so. All right, so we have, I'm gonna do one more, maybe two more. So let's see. Ali, I see it says, you say, I see your comment, it says, I've accepted to go on and screen. What now? I'm not sure. I don't know why it's not working. Because I don't see you here. I'm really not sure. Let me try something. Oh, are you still there? Oh no. Are you guys still there? Yes. Oh no. Are you guys still there? Can you see me? Guys, can you let me know? Yes, okay, sorry, because I did something weird. And this is, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so let's see if I can find someone else. Scrolling, so many people. All right, Emily, I'm gonna invite you on screen. And I'm gonna invite Antonella. And Moses. Ah, we have someone. Awesome.
Oh, come on.
Hi, Emily.
Yeah. Gotta go. Gotta go. Hi.
Hi, how are you? Where are you from?
Maryland.
Say that again. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Maryland.
All right, awesome. Let me see what oh, nice color in the background. Let me
Thank
see
you.
what
Yeah, here's my tapestry too.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
How come I'm on the screen?
All right. Emily, there is animal spirit here for you, and it's a little doggy. It's actually a puppy. He's black, dark brown, white chest, white front paws. It's a male. And I don't know why, but he says he's here to help you connect with children. Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, awesome. And he says it's about like bringing back the playfulness in yourself. It's about, in the end, okay. So the deeper thing is like to connect with your own innocence again. He says, for some reason throughout, like over your lifetime, you've lost a little bit of your innocence, like we all do because we grow up. And it's very much about like reconnecting with your own innocence and your own playfulness. And that will help you connecting with the children. But more importantly, even it helps you connect with your own inner child and bring out your sense of wonder and adventure and bring that back. And that will like catapult you into the next phase of your life because there is going to be some changes. Are you aware of that there's changes coming?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So like connecting with your own inner child with like children outside, like physical children, brings back like that playfulness, adventurous spirit, and innocence, and that will help you. So it's the key that helps you to advance on your spiritual path.
Do you know
And
the name
yeah,
by any chance?
I was just asking about it.
Oh,
He says his name is George. So yeah. And yeah, I can see him like he's kind of like playing around your feet. So yeah, he's with you, and you can definitely play with him. Like basically just sit down and imagine there's a little puppy named George and play with him. And I say imagine because our imagination helps us to open the portals to the spirit world and our guides. It's totally fine to use your imagination. That doesn't mean it's not real. It just means that it helps you open the portals. That's all. So I hope that supports you on your path forward.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, let's see. And then we have 2 more people. We have Moses. Hi, where are you from?
I am from Birmingham,
Oh.
UK.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Oh, I need to take a look at you again. Okay. Okay. I don't see who's here yet, but I do get information, and I can tell you you're a seer. I don't even know what that means, but that's the information I just got. Like you can see into the spirit world. Like when you do you sometimes have like really intense and maybe even weird dreams?
Good night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Like you see things. It's like and you can train that. You can definitely train that. So let me see who's telling me this. Right. There's an ascended master here for you. It's a male. He's very tall, like very tall. Taller than humans would be. I want to say, and I can only say that in meters. Sorry, I'm used to the metric system. But I want to say like 250, something like this. He's also very thin. He has like almost like a Merlin beard, like a really long beard. But I think he's almost either totally or almost bald. And he's wearing, what is he wearing? A long, I don't know what that's called. Like he's wearing pants, but it's almost like a very long shirt that goes over the knee. Yeah, very long shirt. And it's white. The pants are not white. I think they're darkish blue, dark green. I can't clearly see it. But anyway, so yeah, he wants you to know that you're a seer. He wants you to look that up and go back in time. What a seer? Maybe do a Google search about seership. And do some research into how seership was done in the past. That will ring some bells for you. That will like remind you, and you will be, oh yeah, that makes sense because that happens to me. Oh yeah, that has happened to me. I've had this experience. These kinds of things. So just remember this term seer and seership because that's what you are.
Thank you.
Let me ask about the name. This one's hard. Excuse me. I know it starts with an F, but it's hard to get it. Sorry, I can't clearly get it. I just know it starts with an F. That's all I can tell you right now. Sorry. Just call him F. He'll be fine with that. And I hope this helps you that to know that you're a seer. And pay attention to these dreams.
I will do.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. All right. And one more. Who do we have? Antonella. Hi. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. No.
Hi,
Hi. Where are you from, Antonella?
I'm from Italy.
Ah, nice name. I love your name.
Thank you.
So let's see. Did you know that you, in past lives, you were something like a priestess, a nun, something? Well, it's the terms we use now, but something in that vein. Do you know about that?
Yes.
Okay. So, okay, this is not just one guy that's coming through. This is basically your fellow priestess sisters that come through all together. And they want to remind you of, this existence, this past life. And it's actually been more than one past life. And this sisterhood has existed for longer than one past life too. So they're with you, and when you're on the other side and they're incarnated, you do the same for them. So you've been together for a long time and you've worked together for a long time. They want you to remind you of that, and they want to remind you that a daily spiritual practice is essential for you. So whatever that is, meditation, or you could do a walking meditation, or whatever it is that feels right to you, do it on a regular basis. This is really important because that brings back like the abilities that you already developed in these past lives. And one of your purposes is very much about holding space for transformation to happen on this earth. So it's not just about doing specific practical things. It's about you raising your vibration to a level and keep that vibration. So make sure that you eat healthy, again, do the spiritual practice. Make sure that when you're unbalanced emotionally, that you could draw back and maybe meditate and bring up that vibration again, because you're holding space. It's almost like a bar that you and other people, you're not the only one, there's millions of others, that you set for everyone else, and you help everyone else go to that same vibration. I hope that makes sense to you.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, and we still have Ali here, but I can't hear you or see you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Awesome.
Okay, that's weird. You can't see me.
I don't know what's going on. Wait, let me try. Oops, no, I can see you at all. Hold on. I only see black. Do you have something taped over your camera or something like this?
No, I see the little light flashing and it says everything is on.
Weird. Okay, then we'll do it like this. Let's see. By the way, how do I pronounce your name correctly?
Ali.
Ali.
It's short for Allison.
Okay, got it. All right, Ali, there's an angel here for you. This one is a male. He's your guardian angel, and he's here to protect you. And he says he wants you to know that he's around, because he says you don't always feel safe. I don't exactly know what that means yet, but does that sound true to you?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. But yeah, that's his main thing. He wants you to know that you are safe, that he's there, and he's not the only one. You have like a team of guides that are around you, but he specifically is your guardian angel, and he's always with you. You can always call on him, but also it's important that you do things that make yourself feel safe. So whatever that takes, do it, but don't let it keep you from going out or connecting with people, or don't let it restrict your life. He says that's very important, and so whatever it takes for you to make yourself feel safe, you should definitely do. And if it's like, I don't know in what sense you sometimes don't feel safe, but let's say it's like in a physical way, then take self-defense classes, for example. But that's just an example that's coming from me. But like, do things that help you feel safe, but also know that you have a guardian angel who's around you and who wants to help you with this. And I'm asking for a name. Names are hard today. I don't know why. Stan. His name is Stan. That's S-T-A-N. I'll write it in the chat.
Thank you.
You're
That's
very
really,
welcome. So does that make sense to you?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, great. I'm happy to hear that. All right. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that's it for today. Let me check the chat if there's anything else. I'm sorry that some people couldn't get on. Sometimes it's just like technology. I can't always control it. What you can do when I send out the email invite, there's a link in there that brings you to a page on Crowdcast where it is explained what the technical requirements are that you need. It should work on all devices, but just to make sure, maybe click that link and see if it works on your device. So yeah, did I forget anything? Oh yeah, of course. So if you like the readings and you would like to book a one-on-one reading with me, which is 60 minutes, it's obviously private, and it goes into much more depth about your spirit guides and their message for you, and you can even ask me questions. Then click that button again, like the Follow Your Guides call. Click on that, sign up for the wait list, and you will automatically get a 25% discount for your reading that you book with me. Also, if you want to be notified once Spirit Guide Society opens its doors again, like the community that we talked about earlier, so you can join a community of like-minded people and together make this world a better place with the help of your spirit guides. That also click that button, sign up for the wait list. And if you want to learn more and have like more tips, tools, and resources that I don't share here on the show, follow me on Instagram, and this is my Instagram account. And maybe send me a PM over there and say hello so I know to follow you back. So thank you so much for coming. That's it for today, and I will hopefully see you next time. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, guys.